Have you ever noticed how we all have a drive to belong? You could say that belonging is the reason that people take showers. Synchronized swimming has fans. Men stopped wearing leisure suits in the 70s, and Tom Hanks apologized to a soccer ball named Wilson. The point is, we all have a desire to fit in somewhere, to be connected, to find our place at someone's table. One of the reasons you can tell that belonging is such a powerful drive in the human heart is because not belonging can be devastating. Especially if the loneliness is consistent, the isolation is frequent, the rejection is recurrent. The point is, people need people. Everybody needs a circle, and every kid especially needs what we might call is a tribe. So what exactly is a tribe? Well, there are probably a lot of definitions, but for us, it's simply a group of people connected by something in common. Ancestry, ideas, experience, politics, theology, sports. Think about it this way. We define ourselves by tribes. We say things like, I am a musician, a Baptist, a feminist, Braves fan, photographer, foodie, conservative, mom, student, biker, Republican, reader, blogger. Tribes are just people who share something in common, kind of like a club you can sign up for. But when someone finds a tribe over time, the role a tribe plays in their life becomes much more significant. The tribe can have the potential to become like a family or community. That's why what you do every week matters so much. As a parent or a leader, when you help kids feel welcome in a tribe over time, you're helping them develop a significant sense of belonging. That's why what you do every week matters so much. As a parent or leader, when you help kids feel welcomed in a tribe over time, you're helping them develop a significant sense of belonging. That's another reason we wrote this book, Losing Your Marbles, Playing for Keeps, because we actually wanted to create a guide for two of the most important tribes that we believe exist, the church and the family. Just like love, words, and stories were God's idea, so were tribes. Think about it. It's as if God designed us so we would naturally connect in tribes. Then He used tribes over time to reveal Himself to us and to continue to spread His message of love. God used tribes, if you think about the story of the Bible, to accomplish His mission, to invite more people into a tribe of faith by trusting in His Son and the message of the gospel story. But it's possible to misunderstand the very point of tribes. For example, the Pharisees missed the point. Although in some ways they attempted to champion the practices and traditions of the tribe of faith, they somehow missed this point that God designed tribes to be inclusive, not exclusive. Tribes provide an opportunity to make people feel welcomed, accepted, and even loved by God. While the Pharisees seemed intent to make it hard to get into their tribe of faith, when Jesus showed up, He started inviting everyone and anyone to get in. One day, He actually confronted the Pharisees about their judgmental way of thinking. He told a story about a father with two sons. I'm sure you've heard it. The youngest son left home prematurely. He took his father's inheritance and went into the far country where he hoped to build his fortune and find new friends and leave his mark in the world. Unfortunately, due to a series of wrong decisions and the fact that he had never taken any of Dave Ramsey's financial courses, he lost his money and everything. Rumor even has it that he ended up working at a barbecue place in South Georgia. Actually, it was a little worse than that. He had to live out back with the pigs. I'm sure you've heard the story about how he finally said one day, "Let me go home. I've had my run, baby. I'm done. I got to go home." I may actually be getting that mixed up with a Michael Bublé song, but I can imagine the prodigal son walking over that final hill, looking down the road at the big white house where he grew up. At least in my mind, it was a big white house. His loving father runs to meet him and gives him a hug in spite of his odor, in spite of his mistakes. Why? Because according to his dad, my son was lost, now he's found. Translated, my son lost his way, now he's back where he belongs. You see, he was a smart dad who knew that tribes matter. So he did two things. He gave his son a ring to remind him that he still belonged to the family, and he threw a party to assure him that he still had a community where he belonged. He wanted to send a clear message. There's still a seat for you at our table. This is a place where you are known, where you are welcome, where you are forgiven, where you belong. That kind of belonging is something that only tribes can do. And the tribes most strategically positioned to do that are the family and the church. Kids and teenagers desperately need people who know them, who welcome them, and who forgive them over time so that they will know they belong. Education reformer Geoffrey Canada says that kids need to grow up with a certain level of failure so they can understand it's possible to move beyond their mistakes. But they also need to know they can be forgiven, both by their parents and by other adults as well. Canada says this is what makes those in the church unique. We understand redemption. So that's what a tribe of faith should be best at doing, reminding kids that they are forgiven by God and by the people who know them best. Isn't it true that we all want to be known by someone, and we need to know, regardless of whatever failure we have in our life, they still believe in us and that we still have a place to belong? You see, this idea of belonging is actually what makes our faith as Christians distinctive. Our sense of belonging is rooted in a concept we all know called grace. Grace means that you don't belong because you deserve to belong. You belong because God has accepted you and because God has forgiven you. Think about the advantage of growing up realizing that you were known by God in a way you were not known by anyone. Every thought, every desire, every action, and yet God wants to welcome you into His tribe forever. You see, that's belonging. Remember when we said what happens in a kid's life may be more important than what happens in their life as an adult? This is why it's so crucial to introduce children and teenagers to the grace of God when they're young. That's why helping them understand how to trust Christ with their life should be one of our first priorities. It may be the greatest thing you do for a kid's sense of belonging. At some point, most of us have experienced what happens when someone grows up and never feels like they belong. When Debbie and I met Alyssa a few years ago, she convinced us that she needed a heart transplant. But it was actually a scam. It wasn't a scam for money because she never asked us for money. It was really a scam for attention. She'd played this game most of her young life to impress someone, to belong somewhere, and her history was filled with fictions she told in an attempt to earn acceptance. Well, it took a little over a year before she got caught and her lie was exposed. At that point, she cut everyone off. And at 22 years of age, she failed at the first attempt to take her life. Debbie and I waited at Elmhurst Hospital for 2 days before she would agree to see us. And when she did, she was angry. Her first words were, "I don't want you here. Why did you come? I really don't want to talk about anything." It actually took a few days before she warmed up. I'm not sure if it was the chocolate we brought or the fact that she was just tired of the crowd of the psych ward. But after a few visits, she asked us this question: "Why would you come back when you know what I did?" So I said, "Alyssa, the reason we came back is because we know what you did. And sometimes you just need someone in your life who knows you and who knows what you did, but they just keep showing up anyway. I mean, I need that. I need to be loved by the people who have history with me. Or how can I know I'm really loved, right?" You see, we had enough history with her to know that beneath the facade and pretense, there was this smart, savvy, creative, ambitious, daring, lively, sarcastic girl who was the age of our own daughters. I don't know, maybe that's what we saw. She was someone's daughter who had been trapped in her life by a string of bad choices while she was trying to figure out where and how to belong. Alyssa was not that different than you or me. She just needed tribes over time where she could be known and forgiven in spite of what she had done. Just remember this: you can't feel forgiven by people who don't really know you. That's why kids need tribes over time. They need people who have history with them, people who know them. You see, kids need to be known before they can feel welcome. And kids need to be known before they can feel forgiven. And kids need to be known before they can feel like they belong. So when they show up broken and lonely and wounded, your job is to make sure they know they have a seat at your table, to be the kind of parent or leader who will give them a ring and throw them a party. Because there are two things, I promise you, that will make your home and church attractive to kids and teenagers. You know what they are? Forgiveness and joy. That's why you need to play for keeps with every week that passes, with every marble you lose. Remember, you're making history. Playing for keeps means you get serious about tribes over time, and you understand how the right tribe over time contributes to a child's sense of belonging. That's why we say it's important to go in circles. That may sound a little strange, but it's just another way of saying do life in the context of relationships. Because kids need to be encouraged early in life to connect in tribes and groups. It means that you recognize the potential of your family circle, your church circle, and the influence the right kind of friends can have in their life. In other words, kids need to eat in circles, travel in circles, play in circles, work in circles, learn in circles, and live in circles. It just makes a difference. When kids have the right kind of relational circles and the right kind of tribe, it stacks the odds in their favor when they grow up with a sense that they are known, that they are welcomed, and that they are forgiven over time. It increases their emotional and spiritual health. So, keep doing what you're doing this week because it matters. Every time you show up to be physically present in a kid's life, you're making a unique statement by being there with them and being there for them. It's like you're saying, no matter what you do, no matter what happens, you will always belong here. There will always be a seat at the table for you. You will always have a tribe.